order for something to be a moonshot, it has to be at the intersection of the following three things. Number one, there has to be a huge problem with the world that we aspire to solve. Kind of academic if you can't say what problem you're trying to solve. Once you've described the problem, then there has to be some kind of science fiction sounding product or service that may be very unlikely that we could build it, but we can all agree ahead of time, if we could build that thing, it would meaningfully resolve that huge problem in the world. And then third, there has to be some kind of breakthrough technology that gives us some way to get started and some sense that there's a chance at least that we could actually build that science fiction sounding product or service that would actually then address that huge problem with the world. So until we have those three things, we don't even have a moonshot story hypothesis. So if you worked at X, I would say, you have to be able to craft anything in that narrative before we can really get started. If you propose something and it sounds so unreasonable there is no way to get started. Hey, let's make a time machine. Okay, tell me how we would get started with a time machine. And you say, I don't know. Okay, then that's not a testable hypothesis. We want to maximize the reward-risk ratio. And so if you propose the teleporter and somebody else proposes a pill that cures cancer, okay, I'm happy to talk about both. Let's talk about how good it would be if we solved each of those problems. And so you'd each try to make arguments for why it would be so great for humanity to solve those two problems. And then, okay, what are the risks? The risks would be regulatory, they would be cost, they would be time, there would be maybe unintended consequences. We could unpack all kinds of risks in each of them. And then we would decide, hey, we can't do everything. So let's stack rank these. Which of them seems like the reward-risk ratio is better? And after 6 months, we'll come back and we'll look at the two and see what the evidence tells us about which of them we should stop doing and which of them we should spend more money on. I'm sure somewhere in the process, someone ends up checking for IQ or capabilities, but that is not what we're hiring for. As an example, we rate everyone who we talk to on fearlessness, teamwork, humility, and growth mindset. Part of what we're talking about, being able to take these moonshots, is having very high audacity, which is related to fearlessness, but equally high humility. If I'm asking you to take these 1 in 100 shots, first of all, you have to be able to find these 1 in 100 shots and be comfortable taking them. Audacity. Real 1 in 100 shots. Things that are exceptionally unlikely that most people go, no, that's not going to work, that's not a thing. But then you need to know, your whole team needs to know, from the first day, you're probably wrong, and your main job is to verify that you're wrong using evidence so we can stop it and go do something else. And so checking for things like humility, growth mindset, fearlessness, and teamwork is our way on their way in of helping check that they're going to enjoy the process. And of course, we need to mentor them, hold them responsible for running the process. But if they fundamentally, if they have a fixed attitude, I know how to do this stuff, they're going to be miserable at X and they're not going to be successful.